Hello, and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. It's December 6th, and today on my 25 days of holiday-themed uploads schedule, I've got my favorite holiday film, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, I phrased it that way, holiday film rather than Christmas film, because of course there's the never-ending debate. Is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie? Is it both? We don't know. It's also a very polarizing movie, I find, as are most Tim Burton films. People either love this movie or they hate it. I don't really know anyone who's seen this movie who's just ho-hum about it. What about you? For those who've never seen this movie, I highly recommend you do see it. If you've got Disney Plus, by the way, it's on there. I own a DVD of it. I wasn't allowed to see this one when it first came out because my mom thought it was meant to be a horror and she figured I was too young for it. It was released in October of 1993, right before Halloween. Perhaps that answers the Halloween or Christmas movie debate. So I would have been in the first grade. I don't know, maybe Oogie Boogie would have been a little too creepy for me at that age, but overall I think it would have been fine. I ended up seeing it for the first time in high school thanks to a friend of mine who was absolutely obsessed with it. Where my sister and I could recite and sing The Lion King and several other more kid-friendly Disney films by heart, Nicole and her sister would recite and sing Nightmare Before Christmas. We often had Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along time in the hallways of the high school at lunchtime, particularly the song What's This? If you are unfamiliar with the film, I won't spoil it really, but let's just say this. Jack, the male lead, is the celebrity of Halloween Town, where every day of the year is spooky and everyone's life is just a countdown to the next Halloween. He goes off looking for more, and he ends up in this kind of lobby between all of these holiday towns, and he decides to explore Christmas Town. The bulk of the film is Jack exploring the idea of Christmas from the point of view of someone who only knows Halloween, and trying to bring a little Christmas back with him. The whole idea of the lobby of doorways leading to all the different holiday-themed towns has always made me think it needs a sequel or even a series where Jack explores the other towns. Personally, I'd love to see him in Easter Town. By the way, if you're new here, I'd love it if you would subscribe and turn on notifications. This month I am doing a special run of daily uploads, but most of the time I upload twice a week at minimum every Tuesday and Thursday, with bonuses some weeks. This month I am uploading every day up to and including Christmas Day, and then I'll be taking a break over New Year's. Officially, my channel is set to return from break on Thursday, January 9th, but if I can get enough material prepared ahead of time, I may schedule something for the 2nd while I'm away. I'll stop promising that later on in the month if it's looking like that won't happen. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit like and leave a comment down below. I love reading your comments, I really do appreciate the interaction, and I do reply to everyone. By the way, little public service announcement. I recently discovered while trying desperately to reply to one of you asking questions about markers that YouTube's filter bots are now deleting comments that contain the word bullet, as in a marker's bullet nib. If you want to talk about marker nibs, you're going to have to refer to that end of the marker as the fine tip or something similar if you want your comment to stick around. It doesn't even go to spam, it just disappears entirely. I tried 3 times to reply to the same commenter before I figured out and stopped saying that word, so it was deleting my own comments on my own videos because of it. The question was on my Ohuhu brush marker review video, relating back to my cheap to Copic DIY video, where I tested putting Copic brush nibs into cheaper markers. The commenter asked if I thought Copic nibs would fit into Ohuhu markers. The answer is yes, they certainly would. With most alcohol markers, a Copic or similar brand replacement brush nib will fit other markers. On non-brush markers, you have to sacrifice the chisel nib to do this, because the fine tip end is too narrow, but the chisel ends are a pretty standard size. Copic, Chameleon, and Fine Color all sell replacement nibs that do fit. In the case of Ohuhu's brush markers, at this time there's no need to worry about replacing the brush nibs. They don't currently sell refill inks, so you are going to have to replace the whole marker when it dries up. If the brush nib gets too worn out before the ink dries up, Ohuhu's brush nibs are double-ended, so you can just pull it out and flip it for a fresh brush nib. So for today's piece, since my theme is Nightmare Before Christmas, I've drawn Jack in front of a very stylized Christmas tree. I love the simplicity of the color palette, and I think Jack himself turned out really well. I didn't realize until I was done that the bottom of the tree ends up at a really weird point in relation to Jack's feet, but I guess without any other background context, we don't really know what's going on anyway. It's just a fun design. I regret the snow details on the tree, and I should have saved the metallic gel pens until after I finished the line art because they smudged so easily. If it looks like I'm having a hard time finishing up the line work on the bottom of the tree near the end, it's because I'm trying not to stick my elbow in the gel ink on the star for the 5th time. You also might have noticed that the gray marker I used on the garlands underneath the silver started to puddle near the end, and that's because this was the marker's first use after I refilled it. I'm guessing I gave it a little too much ink, but when it was sitting in my marker case, it was probably tilted toward the other end, so it took a minute for gravity to do its thing and pull all that extra ink down into the brush end. Oh well. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I know it's a bit shorter than usual once again, but I'm trying to get these done a little ahead of time since I'm doing so many more videos than I normally do this month. If you're new, my videos are usually 10 to 15 minutes, that range. I don't know, maybe shorter is better. Some really can't be like my subscription box videos that have the unboxing portion, but other time lapses could be. I could just talk less. What do you guys think? Do you like these slightly shorter videos? Let me know. See you tomorrow.